Probably guessed it's named after this church with the large, massive, impressive facade of either cement, I think, not marble, and some kind of a tower next to it. The tower itself leaning a little bit to the right. So I'm coming from the Accademia, which is right here. Had lunch about right in here. Now I'm wandering back over. This is where I am right now. Just took a video of that. And I'm looking down this canal to what I think must be this church's tower. If the camera is able to see beneath that glare, you can see where the original lower steps were. The overwhelming evidence of the continual sinking of Venice is everywhere. A couple interesting reliefs. You wonder how they reconstruct things in order to get in and out of doors. As the Rick Steves guidebook suggests, it may be only a few years before basically Venice is simply another Disneyland, because people are leaving at the rate of either 1,000 a year or 1,000 a month. And some because it is so expensive and so difficult to live here as opposed to anywhere else. So much of the architecture, the interesting stuff, is hidden by the buildings nearby. You have to wonder what it was like in early years, where these secondary buildings not here, and therefore the beauty was revealed. Okay, where I am right now is right in the lower left-hand corner of that large circle. In the upper left-hand corner of their screen right now, I'm at where the blue is. Here is, I think, that church. I think. And now I'm just panning down that piazza, if you will. And there in the end is a tower that I was at a few minutes ago. Now I'm going to negotiate my way out of this piazza to the northeast from where that large circle is, up to where it says, I think, I Frari, to that church. You can just imagine in the summer that this place is probably has a lot more people in it. The cafes are alive. There are probably all the shops are open instead of apparently closed now. What this tower was for, I haven't a clue. It doesn't seem to be associated with a church. It looks defensive at the top. It reminds me of a short version of the towers you see in San Gimignano and Volterra hill towns. I think I've been here before, but you get that deja vu feeling every time you walk through Venice after you've done it a few times. I just noticed this pretty combination of arch and stairway, and then the older arches above. Hey, the irony is, I don't know if I've been here before or not, but at least I can look at the map and know where I'm at. So you'll know where we're at. We're about right here, about ready to cross over this canal right here, and I'll hang a right around there and wander right up into here to Frari, where I want to be. Here's how you fasten together a couple of flex pipes so they don't come apart later on after you bury all of this down with the rest of the snakes underneath here. Here's some more of what the snake works looks like underneath here. Now these blue ones just carry conduit of some sort. Maybe it's colored for each different kind of utility, but you can see some of the huge pipes underneath, or large pipes anyway. They're used for water, probably sewer, who knows what else. All the different valves, all that stuff ends up being buried You have to dig it all out if you want to work on it. This whole area I'm walking through is basically torn up underneath here. And remember that wherever you're working, you're still only about a half a foot away from your water table. Not sure if I've arrived where I'm trying to get to or not, but I'll take this on the way in. Alla Ferrovia, Pizzali, Roma. Those are the signs I look for when I'm en route home. Just a pretty little shot. It's interesting to imagine how much more beautiful this would seem to me if there were any sun. This is a very pretty church on the outside, on the assumption it's a church. But it's confusing because as we walk around the corner here, I'm going to see another church, so again, I'm not really sure where I am. There's Calle Tintoretto, so if I'm reading the map correctly, the Church Ferrari should just be to the right here at this next intersection. And I suspect that here it is. Here the gentleman is installing what I think is some thin tin foil, the appearance of silver, and onto a glue that he put on yesterday. And then presumably after this dries he will cut it away and it will have, where he wants it to, the same appearance of the gold that he's installed on the hair portion of this mask. And this is an example of some of the different masks that are made. And here's a particularly interesting masks that have old pictures, if you will, or prints of key places in Venice. Like that one, I believe, is looking towards San Marco Square. And these typify the masks that doctors wore during the plague. It didn't help. If you look at the map, or if you remember the map, it's a pretty large glob indicating this church, and just walking around it, it is a very large church. But notice that it's all out of brick, except for the applique decorations like these. Decorations like these. A nice interplay of colors on this back street that I'm walking. So in all probability this was a canal that was filled in, so it should be called, I think, Via Terre or something like that. A little bit of whimsy in the midst of this unkempt backyard. This is called a Corte Canale, which I think means a canal court. In other words, a court that used to be a canal. Surrounded by residential places. Too bad it's not turned into a pretty little park. Notice what look like oranges? I don't know. What would be interesting is to know or to see a video on how you fill in a canal. Of course, this is how much of what is Venice, at least beyond the initial islands that were formed by the deposits of a river that runs through it, which I think is the Grand Canal. I don't know what that nicely painted building is there. I'm panning past the railroad station and down to the right where I go. I don't know if the NYC is a hint of something, but this is a beautiful boat. Whether it belongs to a private party or not, I don't know. Some wealthy person who lives here. And either because people can trust people around here, or because, like Jackson Hole used to be, there's only a few ways out of here that the police on the water won't catch this boat. The keys are in the ignition.